Councils spend a fair bit of money on engineering works to slow drivers down and calm traffic in quiet suburban streets. I find it interesting that councillors and road engineers think it's justified pouring concrete to make streets safe for other vehicles, but don't seem to think it's worthwhile doing exactly the same to protect cyclists. Let's take a quick look at Norman Street and 4 bits of road engineering. The first is a concrete island down the middle of the road that forces drivers turning into Norman Street to keep left. I can understand why this is here. I've watched people driving down Majors Bay Road and turning right into Norman Street, and some of them really hammered around this corner. Clearly, cutting the corner used to be a big enough problem to warrant pouring some concrete. The next bit of engineering is a raised pedestrian crossing. I presume this is to allow people a safe route down to Majors Bay Reserve. At around the midpoint of the street, there is a set of low-speed cushions. Let's see how effective they are in slowing down the driver of this blue ute. Given the way he took off, I'd say they had some effect, since he was pretty clearly interested in doing about 70 to 80 in this 50k zone, and they stopped him doing that part of the way. At the end of the street, at the intersection of Rickard Street, there are a pair of concrete bumps built out from each curb. Sorry for the lousy snapshot. Again, these have been installed to stop drivers who turn into the street from Rickard Street from cutting the corner at high speed. I stopped here and watched the corner for a minute, and it was pretty obvious that rat runners tear through here as fast as they can. But the bumps ensure that they don't cut the corner, smash into the back of cars parked along the southern side of the street. Let's go back to the western end of the street. The thing that got me interested in looking closely at this street is that I had a near miss with a car that turned right into Norman Street from the western end and then ran very wide. They ran right into the very badly faded bike lane that you can just see in this picture. Thankfully, I wasn't in the lane at the time, otherwise I would have been violently punted sideways onto the footpath. So this begs the question, why is concrete used liberally to slow down vehicles and to protect parked cars, but paint is used to protect cyclists? And I use the word protect in inverted commas because it clearly does nothing of the sort, as I nearly found out the hard way. That strip of paint, or magic paint as I like to call it, is partly faded by the weather, but the main reason it is in such poor condition is because it has been worn away by thousands of vehicles taking the corner too fast and running into the bike lane. That paint's been eroded by their tyres. Wouldn't it make sense to replace this strip of faded paint with a tall concrete curb?